Okay, good morning, all. So, if you're watching this, please say hi and let me know if you're able to hear me properly. I think I think audio should be okay because I just finished doing something with the same audio setup. So yeah, so good morning, good morning. A very interesting session today about 17 different types of ancient Karlakatai weapons, which used to be used in traditional Indian fitness. And there were actually, if you are online, feel free to say hi, feel free to say hi. Okay. There used to be 32 types of Karlakatais, out of which we have lost knowledge for many of them, right? So, today we are going to learn about this 17, and be rest assured, as and when I start learning about more and more types of Karlakatais, I will bring them to you, right? Okay. Who is this? Sorry, I'm just checking the comment. Give me a minute. Hello. Hi. Uh, Let me know if the audio is good. Can you let me know in the comments if you can hear clearly? And okay, let's go ahead. So, actually, what you're seeing on the screen are these miniature models of Karlakatais. And I got these made because I end up traveling very frequently for my teaching. And I always wish that I could carry these beautiful different types of Karlakatais. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. You can hear me. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, you can hear me, right? Yeah. So I always wish that I could carry all these beautiful different types of Karlakatais with me for my teaching, for conducting workshops and short trainings and things like that. But it's impossible to carry so many types of Karlakatais, and people have, since this is an ancient knowledge, traditional knowledge that has almost been on the verge of getting lost. People have very limited knowledge about what is Karlakatai, and they think that there are many misconceptions. They don't know that there are so many types of Karlakatais which were used for different purposes. They don't know that Karlakatai is not just for upper body, but it trains your whole body, including your legs. They don't know about this way of training. Also, they don't know that it's the most it's the safest weight training that provides 9 parameters of fitness, which modern fitness doesn't even talk about. Some of those parameters, right? So let's see. Let me introduce you to all these Karlagatais one by one. Okay, we'll go from this their height, the order in which their height is, right? Okay, so here in my hands, you can see what I have is Manja Karla. Can you see there are we have to make this miniature, we have put like pins in it, like nails, and the real Manja Karla also has nails on it. So Manja Karla, the height of Manja Karla can start from 3 feet, and it can go up to like 5 feet also. I have seen 5 feet tall Manja Karla, right? So this, why there are nails on this Karlakatai? There are nails on this Karlakatai so that we could get to improve the proprioception. See, when you swing Karlakatai, sometimes people who are learning, they know that you have to, for different swings, there has to be a distance that you have to maintain from your body. For some swing, Karlakatai needs to come close to your body. For some of the swings, it has to be away, it has to go away from your body. And for that, to be able to understand that, you need a good proprioception. So Manja Karla kind of helped to develop that proprioception in getting, in learning the rotation correctly, while keeping the Karla Katai at a proper distance, which was meant for that particular rotation. So that's why on a Manja Karla we have all these nails. And you have to remember one thing, that all these that you are seeing on your screen, they are all weapons. They are all weapons. They were not just tools of exercise, they were used as weapons. So, what you're seeing here is also a weapon. It's called Manja Karlakatai, right? And as I said, the height of Manja Karla starts from 3 feet and it can go up to 5 feet, even 5.5 feet. It's a tall, it's a huge Karlakatai, it's a big Karlakatai. Okay, so that's your Manja Karla. Let's move on to the next Karlakatai. This is Ekkala Karla. Okay, it's like a cone shaped Karlakatai. And this is inspired from the musical instrument that used to be used during temple festivals. So the instrument used to be so big that it needed two people to hold it. Okay, so it's like a wind instrument. You blow through it, and this Karlakatai is inspired. The design of this Karlakatai is inspired from that. It's called Ekkala Karla, right? It's a cone-shaped Karlakatai. This Karlakatai also, the height of this Karlakatai starts from 3.5 feet and it can go up to 5 feet. So this is also a big kind of a Karlakatai, right? Now you have to understand one thing, that all these, so this science is so beautiful that the shape of these weapons, the shape of these exercise tools slash weapons, were inspired from things that people used in their daily life, musical instruments, or what women used in their kitchen, or other things like the sacred things that we used for worshipping in temples, right? So as now as we proceed, you will see what I'm talking about. So what you're seeing is Ekkala Karla, right? Okay, let's see the next Karla Katai. This is Pudi Karla. Okay, this is Pudi Karla. So this was mainly used by grapplers and wrestlers to develop their grappling skill, to develop their skill of grabbing onto someone, to develop their strength for locking during grappling and wrestling. So this again is a big Karlakatai. This is also heavy Karlakatai. So this Karlakatai also height starts from 3 feet and it can go up to 5 feet. Okay, I have seen a 5 feet Pudi Karla. And the challenging, the amazing, astounding thing about this was that it was meant to be practiced with single hand. Can you imagine such a huge Karlakatai, the height of which starts from like 3 feet and can go up to 5 feet? Imagine having to practice shoulder rotation with this Karlakatai, right? So Pudi Karla, we are looking at Pudi Karla, which was meant for grapplers and wrestlers. Okay, let's move on to the next Karlakatai. This is a very beautiful design. It is based on temples. It is called Gopuram Karla. It is called Gopuram Karla. A temple has a Gopuram, right, on top. So this design is based on that. Even Gopuram Karla is a big Karlakattai. The height of this will start from 3 feet and can go up to 5 feet. Five or even 5.5 feet. This is a tall Karlakattai. Again, all these Karlakattais that we have seen so far, four Karlakattais, they are all big and tall Karlakattais. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that people know only one kind of Karlakattai, then only one kind of Mudgar, which we know as Sky Karlakattai, and they think that's all there is to it. You know that, as in the beginning of the session, as I mentioned, there are 32 types of Karlakatais and there are 256, almost 256 rotations, which involve working out your whole body. But people just think that Karlakatai works for upper body. Now, unless you learn it in a systematic and traditional way, you're not going to know these things, right? Okay, so we are looking at Gopuram Karlakatai. I'm going to put this back and let's see the next Karlakatai. Idumban Karla. You're looking at Idumban Karla. Can you see how beautiful all the designs are? Right? So, Idumban Karlakatai is named after this Rakshas called Idumban. In south, he is known as Idumban. In north, we know him as Hidden. Okay. Now, by the word Rakshas, we feel that it's some evil person, but that's actually that was not how it was believed in the ancient times. Rakshas word comes from Rakshak. Rakshak means the protector of the forest. And that's why in the north, in the forest of Himachal Pradesh, there is this temple of this Rakshasi, uh, Idumban's daughter, Hidimba. Because these Rakshasas, they were protectors of the forest. So this was his weapon. That's why it's named after him, Idumban Karlakatai. You can see there are these three domes, right? So they represent the times past, present, and future. Again, Idumban Karlakatai, the height starts from 2.5 feet. It can go up to 4 feet. And this is again a heavy Karlakatai, right? It is made from uh, high density wood. Okay, so you're looking at Idumban Karlakatai. Let's move on to next Karla. Now you're looking at Vari Karla. Can you see there are these lines on it? And because of these lines only, it is named as Vari Karla. This is also inspired by animals in the wild who have um, huge and very firm scales on their body. Many people confuse this with Idumban Karla, but this is not Idumban Karla, or this is not a version of Idumban Karla. This is Vari Karla, and it is inspired from nature, the animals in the nature who have big scales on their body. Right, so this also is a big Karlakatai. Its height starts from 3 feet and it can go up to 4.5 feet. Okay, so looking at Vari Karla. Let's move on to next Karla. This is your Kushti Karla. Now the name is self-explanatory. Kushti means wrestling. This was a Karla for wrestlers. Karla made especially for wrestlers. And the height of this starts from 3 feet and it can go up to 5 feet. So this is again a huge Karlakatai, big Karlakatai. Okay. Kushti Karlakatai, wrestlers Karla. Right? Okay, let's move on to next Karlakatai. Now, look at this Karlakatai. It's called Irala Karla. It is based on the name of an ancient tribe in the southern part of India. So they made these types of Karlakattai, and it's named after that tribe. Irala, Irala Karla. Look at how interesting the design is, right? So you have to understand one thing, that as the design changes, okay, these don't remain a log of wood. The way they affect your body mechanics also changes, which is very interesting. So you please don't think that these are all logs of wood, so they work in the similar way on your body. No, with each changing shape, your body mechanics have to change to handle the Karlakatai. Okay, the next one we are seeing, it has got a very interesting name, and it's called Pen Idappu Karla. So, which means it is in the shape of hips of a woman. So, very interesting name, Pen Idappu Karla. This is medium size Karla, you can say. So, the height of this is between 2.5 feet. Yeah, so this is a medium sized Karla, Pen Idappu Karla. The Karla that is inspired from the shape of women's body, right? Okay. Next Karlakatai. This is Puli Adichan Karla. Look at his shape. Puli Adichan Karla, which means Puli Adichan means the one that can kill tiger. That's what this means. Okay. So even though this looks small, its height is something between 3 and even 5 feet. So this is a big Karlakatai. This is a big Karlakatai, which explains it. If you're going to use this to kill a tiger, it has to be big and heavy, right? So Puli Adichan Karla. Look at how interesting the design is. Okay. Okay, let's move on to next Karlakatai. This is Kudumi Karla. It looks very similar to Thuppe Karla, but it's different. This is Kudumi Karla. Kudumi means a ponytail, especially, like a Brahmin's ponytail, which is very funny. It's very funny of them to give this name. But yeah, this is called Kudumi Karla. It's the center of it, the round part of it. It's not as big as Thoppe. Thoppe is huge. I will come to Thoppe now. But this is Kudumi Karla. This is again, its height is, this is medium size Karla. So starting from 2.5 feet, it goes up to 3 feet, 2.5 to 3 feet. So this is a medium sized Karla. Okay. Now, next one is the one that everyone knows and everyone thinks that's what Karlakatai is about. We have Kai Karlakatai. This is the regular Mudgar or Karlakatai you see everywhere. That's your Kai Karla. Kai means arm. Okay. Kai means your arm. So, Kai Karlakatai especially was archers practiced with it. Archers and sword fighters. This was like essential for them. It's not like they couldn't move on to, they couldn't practice with heavier Karlakatai, but everyone had to first, archers and sword fighters had to first master Kai Karla. So this is your regular Karlakatai, or what you know in the north as a Mudgar. Okay, your Kai Karlakatai. Now, the next one is Toppe Karla. Toppe means tummy. This is also known as farmer's Karlakatai. So, the circumference of this Karlakatai, the biggest part of this Karlakatai, the circumference, mean the largest circumference of this Karlakatai had to be larger than the practitioner's waist. That's how huge this Karlakatai is, but it's not a tall Karlakatai. So the height of this starts from 1.5 feet and it can go up to 2.5 feet. So this is a short Karlakatai, but like a stout one, because you can see how it is, right? The hugeness is in this, the dome shaped part, right? Yeah, so this is Thoppe Karla or Farmer's Karla Katai. Now, the interesting thing about Thoppe Karla is you're supposed to practice Thoppe rotation with this. So, its circumference being so big, like it's a round shape, a huge round shape, every time it passes in front of your tummy, you have to suck your stomach in, and then you have to relax it, and you have to keep doing this like throughout the thoppe rotation. Thoppe rotation is one of the rotations. Okay, by thoppe rotation I don't mean rotation with thoppe karla. Thoppe is one of the rotations, right? So every time the karla passes from in front of your stomach, you have to suck your stomach in, otherwise it's going to hit your tummy, and then relax your tummy. So you have to keep doing this: suck your stomach in, relax your stomach, suck your stomach in, relax your stomach. Like tope rotation, as you know, and in case if you don't know, every Karlakatai rotation we do 108 times. So imagine 108 times of doing tope rotation, and that's why it strengthened your core, and that's why it was used by farmers, because farmers work is so challenging, it's so difficult, right? But it's not like others can't practice with this, but this was famously known as toppe karlakatai or farmers karlakatai. Next karlakatai, and as I was explaining to you how the names and designs of Karlakatai were inspired by the objects, instruments that we used in our daily lives, not just weapons. This is Mani Karlakatai. This is in the shape of a bell that we used in a temple. So Mani Karlakatai, this is again, the height is not too much. It starts from like 1 foot and it can go up to 1.5 foot. So this is like in terms of height, this is a small Karlakatai, a short Karlakatai. Okay, Mani Karlakatai. Now the next one is Bhuja Karlakatai. Bhuja means your forearm. Okay, so Bhuja Karlakatai, this is also again in terms of its height, it's not too long. Its height starts from 1 foot and it stays up to 1.25 feet. This is not a tall Karlakatai. But this is heavy, okay? So it is made from a dense wood. So that's why it's very powerful tool for the strength of your forearms. Not just the strength, but also for strengthening the other structures of your forearm, like your tendons and your joints, right? So yeah, that is your Bhuja Karlakatai. The next Karlakatai is called Yoga Karlakatai or Irattai Karla. Look at its shape. Okay, so this can be practiced with one hand or both the hands. Even the weight of this starts from, this is also not a very long Karlakatai. It is like 1 foot, 1.25 feet. That's it, the length of this. Okay, and even the weight is not very heavy. The weight can start from 2 kgs and can easily go up to like 5 kgs, right? So such an interesting shape of Karlakatai, Yoga Karlakatai or Irattai Karla. Then the next is finally, this is also what everyone knows. We are looking at a Gada right now. Okay, the physics of Gada and the body mechanics that Gada demands is a lot more intense and challenging than all the Katlakatais, because the weight is concentrated on one end, right? So we do not, those of you who don't know about the traditional way of learning, in traditional way, We never start swinging clubs like that. We train in Meipadam for a long time, in both Meipadam and Tharaipadam, and then we pick up these weapons because you have to, because in traditional way, we believe that you have to first prepare your body to touch the weapon. And that's why, and I have said this 100 times, that I get so many people who learn Karlakattai and get injured because the places where they're learning from, they don't teach, they don't train in Meipadam, they don't condition their bodies with Meipadam first. Or they will just take Meipadam lightly. Meipadam will be just like some 10 minutes of warm up. Maypadam has close to 1,000. Oh, it has more than 1,000 movements, around 1,500 movements. And everyone, the people who have not learned properly, they just teach Maypadam as a warm up for 10 minutes, which is not how Maypadam should be used. Right? So, first, in traditional way, we always train with Maypadam only, Maypadam and Tharaipadam. Then we move on to Karlakattais, the basic types of Karlakattais, medium sized or small sized Karlakattais. Then we move on to big sized Karlakattais, and then we move on to Gada. Okay, so that's it. We have finished looking at the 17 types of weapons I have here. And I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, feel free to post them here. And also, in case if you don't know, I have been teaching since last 6 years, every single day. Meipadam and Karlakattai, and we also have new batches starting from February, from the next month, Feb. We have a weekend batch starting, especially for working professionals. So it's going to be, because last year I received a lot of requests that because people have such crazy work week from Monday to Friday, a number of people asked me if I could start something on the weekends where they can have class only on Saturday and Sunday. So we are starting that from Feb. If you want the details, you can get in touch. All the details are given in the description of this video, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope to see you soon in the next live. Thank you very much for joining me, and see you soon.